Hey, this is Dave from Unipro, and in this video I'm going to show you the best time to post on Facebook. And this is assuming that you've got a business and you're using Facebook to generate leads and generate sales. So this strategy isn't going to be for you if you're looking to get more likes and comments on pictures of your family vacation or pictures of your pet cat. Now, this is for business owners who are looking to increase their engagement, their reach, and the sales they get through the posts that they make on Facebook. This is the type of result we're looking for. You can see that I'm getting thousands of engagements on everything that I post on Facebook. This leads to, again, thousands of comments. These are from leads who are showing interest in what it is that I have to provide. And then of course, getting way more followers every single week. And so this is what we're aiming for to do for you. The strategy is very simple. Let's dive in. So you're posting on Facebook, but you're not getting a whole lot of likes, you're not getting a whole lot of engagements, and this is a real problem, especially if you're looking to grow your business. You need people to be engaging on your posts so that you can tell who's most interested, who you should reach out to, and who deserves an offer, who's ready to make a purchase from you. But if no one's engaging on your content, it's impossible to know that. Now, some people will tell you just need to go and create more content. You need to post more frequently, and when you do that, you're gonna get more engagements, and then you can reach out to those people and make some sales. I'm gonna tell you that's absolutely wrong. I'm actually gonna show you in this video why that can be counterproductive and what you need to do instead. So when it comes to the ideal time that you should be posting your content on Facebook, there's actually 3 rules that you should follow. Rule number 1 is posting earlier in the week is always better than posting later in the week. Let me show you an example here. I'm gonna go over to one of my Facebook groups. This is called Audience and Influence. And I'm gonna scroll down so you can find these same stats inside your group. I'm gonna scroll down, I'm looking for the engagement tab here. And then you're gonna notice there's a graph that looks something like this, popular days. Now I admit that your graph might look slightly different than this, but you're gonna notice a similarity. The similarity being that on the weekend, even starting on Friday, notice the engagement here, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Look how small these 3 bars are, showing that there's far less engagement later in the week towards the weekend as there is in the beginning of the week, beginning with Monday. So in terms of the day of the week when you're gonna get the most likes, the most engagement, the most reach with your content, really Monday to Thursday is the sweet spot. Now you'll notice here, you might take a look at this and say, well, Dave, it looks like Tuesday is the best day for you. So why don't you just post all your content on Tuesday? And for me in this particular group, I tend to do my live video trainings on Tuesdays, which is why you see a spike here on Tuesday. And you might see that as well. You might see a little bit more of a spike on Monday or maybe on Wednesday, but really you're gonna notice that there's a theme here. And this doesn't just go for Facebook groups. When you're creating content anywhere on Facebook, most users are on the platform Monday to Thursday. And I'm gonna show you some proof that this is true in just a second. So the strategy, the rule to follow here is post earlier in the week. You ideally want to be posting most of your content early in the week so that as people are hanging out on Facebook and they're really consuming a lot of content, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, there's an opportunity across all of those days for people to see your content and to engage with it. That's rule number 1, post your content earlier in the week. Rule number 2 is to post your content earlier in the day. And this is really going to be dependent on what time zone you're in and where your ideal customers, where your target audience hangs out, where do they live. So for me, I live in Pacific Standard Time, and I know that most of my ideal target audience is somewhere in the North American time zone. So somewhere between Eastern Standard Time and Pacific Standard Time. And so for me, in order to reach that audience, I want to be posting as early in the day as possible. Let me show you. I'm going to go over to my personal profile here and let's take a look at some of the timestamps as to when I'm posting content. So you'll see here that this post went up at 5:55 a.m. So let's say 6 a.m. So in Pacific Standard Time, that's 6 a.m. Way over on the East Coast of North America, that's 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I'm going to show you why this is important, why you want to get your content in front of your audience early in the day. Here's one example. Let me just scroll down. Here's another post. So this one I made 4 hours ago, and that would put this post at 7 or 8 a.m. Again, posting early in the day. Let's scroll down and take a look at another post here. You can see 6:04 a.m. And this is just a consistent theme you'll see with all my content. It's posting earlier in the day. Now, here's some proof backing up why this is so important. I'm gonna go over and just show you this graph here. And this graph shows you times of the day here and then days of the week here. First thing that I want you to note is if we take a look at Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you can see darker colors represent heavier traffic. Where's all the dark blue color in this graph? Well, you can see it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, just like we just discussed. Earlier in the week is a better time for you to be posting content. Second thing I want you to notice though is time of day. Remember, rule number number 2 is post earlier in the day. Let's take a look. Here's 6 a.m. all the way up to noon. When you take a look at this dark colored area, where does it lie? Well, you're right. It lies in the morning before noon. And so the best time of day when it comes to posting your content is earlier in the day. I want to post my content around 6 a.m. so that as my audience wakes up and they start their day, they're seeing my content during these heavy trafficked hours. These are the hours when most people are going to be seeing content and engaging on content. And that's when you want to be creating your content as well. So the second rule is post your content earlier in the day according to where your audience lives. Now, rule number 3 for when you should post your content is what we call overcoming the law of diminishing returns. Overcoming the law of diminishing returns. Let me explain what this means. So imagine that if you created one post on, say, a Monday, and that got 100 views. Let's just say that was your average. One post equals 100 views. Well, it might seem reasonable to think, well, if I post 2 posts, I'll get 200 views. Or if you were to post 3 posts, you get 300 views. And that would be awesome because then you could just create more and more content and predictably you'd be able to get in front of more leads. You generate more sales. But the law of diminishing returns says that's not the case. In fact, say you went crazy and you posted 10 times in a single day. Instead of each of those 10 posts getting 100 views, you might across all 10 posts get 500 views. That means just 50 views per post. And maybe that first post did get 100 views and the second post got 80 views and the third post got 50 views. By the 10th post, you might only be getting 20 or even 10 views.
That's not good.
And the reason is simple. Your audience simply doesn't have the capacity to consume that much content. So if you're putting out too much content, your audience just can't handle it, and therefore your views are going to go down. And therefore, if you're putting out that much content, the Facebook algorithm is going to clue in and it's going to say, wait a second, your audience can't consume this much. We're going to slow down the views on your subsequent pieces of content. And that's the law of diminishing returns. So what does this have to do with when you should be posting your content? Well, I'm going to show you how we overcome the law of diminishing returns. And it all circles around this idea of having a few pieces of what we call pillar content. You probably heard that term before. Pillar content simply means your best pieces of content. Pieces of content that are really going to deliver value to your audience, and they're really going to help move your audience towards making a purchase or booking a sales call or becoming a paying customer or client of your business. So the goal to overcome the law of diminishing returns is to post just a few of these pieces of pillar content and then use other pieces of content to drive your Facebook audience back to your pillar content. Let me show an example so that you can see how this really works. I'm gonna go back over here to our audience and influence group, and you're gonna see that right now in this featured section, there's something called level up your leads. And this is 3 pieces of content. I'll just scroll through. So you can see training 1 out of 3, training 2 out of 3, training 3 out of 3. All 3 of these pieces of content, these are pillar pieces of content. A lot of work went into them. They deliver huge value. They really help our audience. They give a ton of new ideas and strategies to our audience, how our audience can go out and generate new leads on Facebook. So this is some of our best content. But instead of just posting this content, even if we posted it early in the week and early in the day, instead of just doing that, we said, well, we want to avoid this law of diminishing returns. So let's use our future posts to drive people back to these pieces of pillar content. Let me show you an example here. Inside the audience and influence group, there's a post here. It says, huge news. We found a way to target Facebook leads by gender, location, career. So this is all about generating leads. Guess where this post leads people? Well, as you can see down here, there's 1,300 people who commented on it. And when someone comments on this, they get sent access back here to our pillar pieces of content. And that's not all. Let me show you another example. Here's another post, again, in the audience and influence group. And you can do this inside a group. You can do this on your personal profile as well. You can see here that I created this post and it's some long form copy, really talking about lead generation on Facebook. And then you can see down here, there's a call to action that says, comment the word list if you want access to the strategies that I described right here. Well, in this case, there's 316 people who commented on this, and these people gained first access to what?
What is it? What's that?
They gained first access to these pillar pieces of content that help them generate more leads. Let me show you another example. Again, inside of our Facebook group. So again, this example lives inside our Facebook group, but we'll often use a similar strategy on our personal profiles as well. Here's an example where I created an event. Let's take a look at the event. The event is called Level Up Your Leads. It's a 3-part training, the new way to get highly targeted leads from Facebook. So this event was created before the pillar pieces of content came out. In this case, you can see 179 people said, yes, I want to go to this event. Then when we actually launch these pieces of pillar content, well, we know those 179 people, they already raised their hand. They said they're interested. Those are the people who are going to be there with us. In this case, these were live trainings. So those 179 people, they were there. They were waiting for these live trainings to happen so that they could participate and they could learn more strategies about leveling up their leads. And so hopefully this is all becoming very clear now. We're posting content early in the week. We're posting content early in the day. And instead of posting more and more content, content, we're creating a few pieces of very high value content, and then we're using subsequent posts or even posts before the pillar pieces of content to drive people to the pieces of content that we want them to see. But I'm gonna show you how you can take this even a step further. I'm gonna go over into our email software here, and I'm gonna show you that I've set up a sequence of emails. So email number 2, level up your leads 1, level up your leads 2, level up your leads 3, and so on. These emails are sent out to new members inside our Facebook group, and guess where these emails point? Well, let's take a look. Let's click on this, level up your leads number 1. In here, there's a little bit of copy talking about acquiring highly targeted Facebook leads. And in here it says, watch here. When someone clicks on this link, where do you think they go? They go back over to our pillar pieces of content, back over here to these level up your leads trainings. And I realize this is an advanced strategy. Maybe you're not doing email marketing yet, and that's okay. But if you are doing email marketing, if you do have a bit of a list, even if you have 50 people on your list or 5,000 people on your list or 500,000 people on your list, you can be sending people back to your pillar pieces of content that were posted early in the week and posted early in the day. And that's how you're gonna maximize the amount of eyeballs on that content and maximize the number of people who are engaging. Now, you might hear all this and think, okay, Dave, this looks like a whole lot of work to get people to see some of your content. Does this really make a big difference? And the answer is yes, it makes a huge difference. I'm actually going to show you some stats that compare 2 different live videos. The first live video we're going to look at right now, there wasn't a lot of promotion. I wasn't using the strategy to overcome the law of diminishing returns. Let's take a look at those stats right now. So over in here, I'm taking a look at the people who are attending a live stream. So again, this was a live stream that I did without a lot of promotion around it. There weren't other posts that were directing people back to this particular piece of pillar content. Let's take a look. On average, there were 17 people with me on this live stream. At the peak, there were 26 people. And you can see here, this particular live stream was 44 minutes. And so in total, maybe about 100 people showed up for this live stream. I want to compare that to a piece of content, another live video, where I did exactly what I just showed you. So let's go over here. I'm going to go over to one of these level up your leads live trainings that we were just talking about that shows the power of directing people to one of your key pieces of content. Let's go down here and I'm going to click on the insights. Now remember that live video training that I just showed you a second ago, the stats there, about 100 people watched that live video. Let's compare that to this live video. In this case, there were 1,600 people who watched this live training.
That's a lot, right?
16 times what I got when I just went live and didn't do any promotion surrounding that. So is it worth your while to post early in the week and post early in the day and then use subsequent posts to drive people back to your key pieces of content? Heck yeah, it is so important. And I'm going to tell you something. This isn't just a strategy that I came up with. No, this is actually something that Facebook has told us to do. And I quote, here's what Facebook says when it comes to creating content. Facebook says, try different tactics to grab your audience's attention and get this, drive them to take actions you care about. So Facebook is telling us to do this. It's saying go out and create content, but don't just create posts for the sake of creating posts. Create posts that drive people to the actions you care about, driving people to the content that you want them to see. Facebook is telling us to do this to overcome the law of diminishing returns. So I know we just covered a lot, but let me summarize for you. When is the best time for you to post content on Facebook? Well, it's definitely early in the week. It's definitely early in the day, according to wherever your target audience lives. And then thirdly, you want to overcome the law of diminishing returns, not by posting more content, but by posting fewer pieces of really great content and then using your other posts to drive people to your best pieces of content. That's how you're going to get more views, you're going to get more likes, you're going to get more engagements, and you're going to get more opportunities to make sales. And that's exactly what I do in my business. But in full transparency, I do have a secret weapon that automates all this for me. And that secret weapon is called Unipro. And if you've never checked it out, you got to go check it out. Go over to unipro.com and you're going to learn about how Unipro, it's a software tool that plugs into Facebook that automates all of your Facebook marketing. It helps you find targeted leads, it helps you get more engagement, it helps you start conversations, and it helps you make sales through Facebook. Unipro has been a game changer for my business, and I know you're going to love it as well. So that's what I got for you in this video. If you have any comments or questions about the best time to be posting your content on Facebook, go ahead and leave those below. I'm happy to help out. And if this video was helpful, give it a like to let me know that you enjoyed it. And again, if you're growing your business through Facebook and you haven't checked out Unipro yet, you got to go check it out. Go over to unipro.com. It is going to be a game changer for the way that you get paying customers and clients through Facebook. Go over to unipro.com. Thanks for joining me in this video. Can't wait to see you in the next video.